Look, I'm really pleased we're joined on Not the Andrew Marr Show by Councillor Mehmood Mirza. How are you doing, Mehmood?
Thank you. Very good. Thank you.
You've hit the social media headlines. Everyone of the right political persuasion is sharing your results from last night. I'm just going to do the same because I know people would like to see it. Here we are. Declaration of result of poll. You are there, independent, Mehmood Mirza, 1,153 elected. The second place party was the Labour Party, 871 votes. And on the vote share, your vote share was up 42.5% and Labour down 27%.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic result. The number of votes you got, over 1,000 votes. I have to ask you, was that an area that you're particularly popular in, that you know lots of people in that ward, or is that because I know you've been you're in Newham, but is that your particular ward in Newham?
Well, is the ward close to my house, and my mom's live there as well. But the main, I'm popular in Newham anyway because I stood in an election last year as a mayoral candidate and as well as a councillor candidate. I only lost by about 100 votes different in a different ward, which was not even close to my house. I'm not popular, but the policies and the values I believe in, these are popular in Newham. What I was going to say, I believe the Newham people have woken up, and they have realized they have been in the control of a Labour, and we have been the poorest borough for last few decades, and we still are. And there is no improvement in London Borough of Newham. We are the dirtiest, filthiest borough. One of the filthiest borough in the country. So, people are getting fed up with the Labour government, and also they can't see any difference between the Labour Party and the Tory Party at the moment.
You're right, and Newham is quite famous because the Labour Party was suspended, wasn't it? Both sides of Newham were suspended, and it was featured in the Labour files, and you were a major part of that programme about Newham and the disgraceful racism from the Labour Party that was endorsed by the Labour officials as well. It wasn't just local members, it was the Labour officials that were endorsing that. How much of an influence do you think the corruption of the Labour Party has had on their bad result?
Well, I think they couldn't. But I think in my leaflet, I have mentioned the Labour files as well, and people are, reading the leaflets now. And Labour files was popular at the doorstep, and people have seen how the Labour Party recently especially in Newham, how Islamophobia within the Labour Party, and also how especially Muslim communities been treated by the Labour Party in Newham. It did have an effect on it, yes.
Right, and I just want to ask you something else that I saw on the Squawk Box story about the result. I'll just show you this quote from someone. I just wonder, you don't have to comment on it if you don't want to. That Starmer and Co will be absolutely something themselves in case this is the first sign of Newham becoming another Tower Hamlets, where smeared and criminalised independent Lutfer Rahman has won the mayoral and his new Aspire party to the Council from Labour. They gave this campaign everything, focused all their efforts in this ward, and still lost. Is that true? Did Labour really give the campaign?
Yes, thank you. I've seen, I never seen a Labour Party doing a campaign like this in any election, especially in a by-election. They had 7 days a week, two campaigns, officially and unofficially campaigns. It's been going on for over 6 weeks before even uh, the by-election was announced, because they knew, they were in the government, that there's one of the councils going to be resigning. So they started the campaign before even this election was announced. And also they had a, people coming from all different boroughs. People from Tower Hamlet, Labour Party came. People from all different boroughs was coming. MP was campaigning. The both MP was campaigning. GLA member was campaigning. They got 64 Labour councillors. There were at least 40 plus council was campaigning on the day, even on the election day. And well, obviously they wasn't be able to get the vote out on the day in their own favor. But I think they did get the vote out, and the people came out and voted for me.
What so they had all these people coming in to campaign. What was their leaflet saying? What were they trying to say? Why would Labour be good? What were they saying about the candidate they had?
Well, their candidate leaflets of fairness, fairer Newham, cleaner Newham, and I can't remember the other thing. But I mean, it's nothing new. I mean, people have seen the Labour Party's been running this borough for a very long time, and why would they want to, get another councillor from the same party? And people, I would say, people are getting fed up with the Labour Party. I've been on the doorstep for last 4 weeks at least. Very few people have, came out and they said they will. Even though people just think, oh, if you are a Labour Party, we don't want to talk to you. And when I tell them, oh, look, I'm not from Labour Party, I'm independent, and I explain what I stand for, and the people start listening. But apart from that, I mean, the people are really angry in Newham.
So I mean, there's a lot of people who have your background politically who are feeling a bit despondent because of what Keir Starmer's done, and there's no new party to take on Labour. Will you have other people, do you think, during the general election? I mean, I'm not pushing you on this. Are you thinking of any way of standing for the general election?
Not at the moment. I don't have a plans, but I will look into that. I've been approached by the few comrades within the left uh, for organizing campaign and that. But I was focusing in the Newham at the time.
Right. I mean, you're just concentrating. You've only just won this, and we're already jumping on you, saying, "Can you be an MP?"
Uh,
What? But what's happened in Tower Hamlets, as it said in that little quote there. Do you think that there's a possibility that Newham will become like Tower Hamlets? Are there other candidates like you that might come forward as independents?
I think it's a very much possibility, because Newham is a very diverse borough, and there's a huge Pakistani, Bengali, Asian, Indian communities lived here, and I think people are, because if you're not giving a people, right people, a choice, what happened? To be honest, let me tell you how this candidate's been, imposed, because the Labour Party's been suspended. About what I heard from the people, about there was about 40. There was two elections actually. There was two by-election. One of them I was standing. There was another elections in Woland Ward. But about 50 people applied, and none of them was called for an interview, and the candidate was imposed by the Labour Party, probably from the London region or NEC, we don't know who endorsed, obviously endorsed by the London region, but so not Labour Party, only councillors coming out of campaign, not normal workers, not
Right.
normal members of the Labour Party. They're not coming out of campaign. They're disheartened. They people are resigning from the Labour Party. I went to the door and said, I was a member of Labour Party, and I've resigned. There's no point being in the Labour Party. You don't have any say to, electing your councillor, So people are upset. That's one of the reason people, and we had a huge membership in the borough, about 5,000 in both constituency. There was a membership before CLPs was getting suspended. So it had an impact. People are upset.
Wow. I mean, that's very interesting about the way they selected this candidate. I mean, it says in the Squawk Box article that the candidate Labour selected works in Keir Starmer's office as well. I mean, that's like parachuting in from the head of the whole thing. So that, I mean, it's a fantastic victory, Mahmood. How did you feel when the actual night was coming up? When it was coming up, did you think you were going to win, or were you nervous?
I knew that in the evening when I've seen the panic about 30, 35 Labour Party activists from different boroughs and MPs, and that they were coming to the polling station. They're gathering the polling station and they're running around at lastminute.com to getting the people out. So I've saw that desperation, and plus because I knocked most of the doors, I know people are coming to vote for me, and they knew that as well when they're coming out, and they was showing thumb as so they knew the vote was not going in their favor. So I had a feeling I'm gonna get in.
And after all you'd gone through with the Labour Party and the way they treated you, you must have felt so good when you got that result when they announced it. Were you?
I was pleased, but I was more pleased to see the faces of those who lost the election. And they were sitting in the corner when my announcements were made. So I was pleased to see their faces when they lost. And because I had a feeling I've been through so much. They have, in the Labour files, you must have seen. My children's been followed, and Stokes, and following my financial information, publishing things like that. So I've been through. I've been on a smear campaign on social media as well from the Labour Party councillors, and so I was over the moon. Thank you.
Well, look, I won't keep you because I know you've got parties to go to. It being Friday night. Thank you so much for spending any time doing this interview. And if you do decide to stand for the parliamentary seat, do let us know, and we'll have a load of people down there for you.
Will do. Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers. Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye.